Thursdays with myself, Walter Amarillo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra. Vinney, welcome back, brother.
Oh, thank you, Walter. It's such great, opportunity to be back again with you and talking about abundance mindset, the mind shift, and how we could pivot with stock market being down 500 points this morning. I mean, that's the time to buy stocks. So I've been buying some really good, I shouldn't say that, but Teslas and other big names which are down today. I bought them this morning.
Not financial advice, but if you
Not
did
not
want to
at
know
all.
what
Not at
Vinny's been
all.
up to, Vinny's been buying
Yes.
stocks.
Yes. But this
So,
show is about abundance mindset. Today we are talking about something very near and dear to me because at heart, I'm a salesperson. As a matter of fact, my mentor, Mr. Spencer Hayes, God gave him, his rest his soul, 80. He passed away a few years back, a billionaire who had his kind of like, hand on my head for 40 years because he really mentored and along with a lot of other great leaders in my previous life in motivational speaking and sales. And his business card said salesperson. He was a billionaire, but his business card said salesperson. So we're going to talk about selling and the power of no's and yeses and how to love no's, which is very near and dear to me.
so wealth principle 31 for those of you who are not prepared yet is go for no, right? And Vinny is talking about this because right before we jumped on this call, he was talking about like what is the wealth principle today? What are we diving into? And almost within a second, I said, Vinny, it's go for no. It's a sales conversation. He said, oh, this is my favorite. He said, this is one of my favorite things is selling. And I told him, go for no versus like just the yeses. He's like, this is how I built my whole business was going for the no, going for the person who like just tell me no, that's okay. I'll go to the next one. I'm going to hit all of those no's versus just somebody says yes and I stop. So, Vinny, why is it so detrimental? And before we even go into why is it detrimental, why do people not make a lot of money? Like, why don't people do this? Like, why do people just suffer? Like, they get a win and they stop. Like, why do people give up so soon?
Well, I think it's all about how much success you get with a yes. And that yes, if you made good commissions or bonuses or whatever, we try to bask in that yes and say, you know what, I made good money. But the key thing is, if we always look at how can we serve more people, that is the core of every business. It's not what you got yes or no or anything or maybe, but how can you serve more people? So essentially, people just don't like rejection. That's it. That's at the core. And we just don't like get rejected.
Nope.
And we talk to 15 people, investors in my case, or brokers, or like I'm getting this construction loan. I've been, having so many talks, right? But
Yeah.
I can give up. But no, there is always a solution. And you got to find a way to get the job done.
So
So
people hate rejection. What about you, Vinny? Do you like rejection? Is that why you're so
I love
successful?
rejection. I love rejection. I love rejection because if they object, what's a rejection is not a personal rejection. It's actually, to be able to really put your mind right to did I do a good job in presentation? Did I find out about the other side across the table, what their inhibitions are, what their likes are, what their risks are, and can I fulfill their need? See, when we get a rejection, it's because we are not giving our service in the frame of the presentation and the hot buttons, I call it, to the buyer, to the consultant, or to anybody on the other side. We got to be totally focused at their needs.
That's beautiful. So for those of you who are just tuning in, sales is necessary for being successful at any level. We're talking to Vinney Chopra, who is a billionaire, owns $1.6 billion right now in real estate with his partners, and is locking down more. He has two funds, $200 million funds. He just did an 11-day tour, raising capital, speaking to investors, and got commitments of over $400,000, which is far more than he expected. And so we're talking about sales. We're talking about selling. And if you're a real estate investor, then you're doing what Vinny's doing. You're raising capital. Selling is step one. And we're talking about going for no, like why the no is so important. We just talked about rejection, embracing rejection. So beyond embracing rejection, Vinny, because I have your notes here. You sent me over 6 things that it takes to be successful. Why do people stay in their comfort zone, right? If you are able to embrace rejection, like why do people stay in their comfort zone?
The big thing is our mentality, our mindset, our body. We like to be in the comfort of our home. We like to be in the right temperature. When the body, we take a cold bath. Why do a lot of people take not a lot, but few people take cold bath in the morning? Is to shake up your body and just make it alive, come alive. Why do we really rejuvenate? We get massages and this, and we take vacations. And that is to reset ourselves, reset our mind, body, soul, everything. Why do people do miracle morning in the morning? To really pay gratitude to everything that's happening in your life and your relatives and friends and ancestors and your parents and grandparents, everybody who brought us here. So it's so important that we get out of the comfort zone to really make things happen.
You got to expand the
Just like Tony
zone.
Robbins says, pleasure and pain.
Yeah.
Pleasure and pain. We always want to be in the pleasure zone, but if we move from pleasure or comfort zone to a little bit outside, we will accomplish a lot more.
It's so true, because it starts forcing you in that right direction. So expanding the comfort zone brings fear and hesitation. So whenever somebody goes to get outside, they start experiencing fear, hesitation. They start getting these anxieties around what might happen. Things could go wrong. I may lose this, or I may lose my time, or I may lose my face. Somebody may not like me anymore. How do you overcome fear of and hesitation of like going outside of the comfort zone?
That's good point. Very, very good point, what you're asking. And, it all, well, again, it's the drive, what you want to do. If you got out of the comfort zone, if you were able to make that next call after getting rejected, we got to be totally true to ourselves, what pleasure is going to bring. See, because if the pleasure is in closing a client, a broker, or closing a deal, or closing, your family, brother, sister, wife on a special date, or something that you want to purchase, whatever. If we have a real picture, a very good, something that we really want in life, then we move out of the comfort zone and get into the danger zone, or let's say uncomfortable zone, and then do the activities. So I will say action cures fear. Action cures any kind of state of mind. You're in the dump of the dump of the dump situation with a big rejection. You just lost $1 million in stock market, or you lost $1 million in the sale commission. But you know what? If you stay longer and bask more in the negative, it's going to take you spiral down. The thing is to just see what went right, what went wrong, and then move on. And that's the power I want to talk about today, is the power of no. Power of no is very important. If you're making $5 million in a year or $1 million in a year, and you have to give 200 demonstrations or presentations, you divide that earning of $1 million by 200 demonstrations or presentations or contacts, whatever you want to say, then each yes and a no is worth the same amount.
That's true. The no's are worth the same also.
See, the thing is, you got to count how many no's you did in a year and how many yeses you got. That's all. That's all. Very
And by the way,
simply.
that's $25,000 per no. So that's $5 million, you go to 200 conferences, and it's $25,000. Every no is worth the same. So
Isn't that something? Isn't that something, brother?
that's good.
Now, again, we have to do a mind shift. Mind shift to say, you know what? I'm going to love the no's as well as I love the yeses.
I like it.
Okay. Now you are in a different frame of mind. You're saying, I want to get no's because that's going to get closer to the yeses. And if we have a ratio, and every salesperson, every businessman, every entrepreneur needs to know your ratios. How many people you need to see, talk to, make appointments, or get your assistants to make appointments, and so forth. Otherwise, you're unemployed. I say that. When I have nothing on my schedule, people say, Vinney, do you have time tomorrow? I said, yeah, I'm fully unemployed tomorrow.
So it's interesting. Your secret to overcoming fear and hesitation is actually to switch the meaning of the same stimuli, to say, look, the no is coming anyway, but if I switch it, it's a valuable thing. You have down as our fourth thing to talk about is learning from rejection. And so
Yes.
I guess that's probably one of the benefits you're looking at. Every no is a lesson. And you kind of talked about this at the beginning of the call. Is like every no is an
lesson.
education on what I could have done better.
Totally, totally. One should always spend a little bit time. Don't make appointment after appointment after appointment, so that we don't really take time to look at what did I do right. They said yes. And what did I do wrong? They said no. And by doing that, you will make your next presentation better. You will actually get into that side. Because see, the thing is, many times we put on the sales cap on like this, Budapest cap, sales cap on, and we say, I'm a selling salesperson. Nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes to be taken, what's the advantage of?
Taking for a ride. Yeah.
You are a consultant. You are a giver. You are somebody who is passionate about your product, and you want to place that product in their realm, in their lap, in their company. So by having that attitude of gratitude and making sure you're going to serve today, 10 people today, and have those 10 appointments, I can guarantee you will double, triple, quadruple, maybe 10x your income.
10x. So you just basically did the same thing. Number 5 was quantifying success differently, which is what you talked about. It's like making the no's worth a yes is the same difference. So let's jump into the 6th thing you said is creating that positive mindset, which is what you're best at. You wrote the book, Positivity Brings Profitability. Yes. And I know a lot of people see positivity as fake, and they see it and they're like, oh, that can't be real. That can't be how a person is. And so they refuse to actually put themselves into a positive state, even though we have proven that it works. How did you get yourself past the belief? Because I'm sure you were the same. You weren't always positive Vinney, right? Vinney smile Chopra. Like at some point, you're just Vinney normal Chopra. And like, how did you convince yourself that positivity worked so well for you?
I'm so glad you asked me that question. And a lot of people ask me in my interviews and podcasts. I never was that kind of person. When I grew up in India in 282 square feet apartment, and didn't have much, but I was happy. And we had 6 siblings and mom and dad, 8 people in that 1-bedroom apartment. The key thing was that somehow, right from the get-go, I just felt, I will be somebody, some little bit better person next day and next day and next day and next day. That's how I grew up. But then when I came to USA, the people, I didn't know. A lot of people tell me, my friends in India, that I was a goal setter. That's all they say. They say, Vinney, you were a goal setter, but you were not that positive. Literally. I think what really changed me while I came here, when I sold Bible books and encyclopedias, some of you all know, my company gave me 7 books. 7 books, and they said you got to read them in 7 days or 15 days or whatever. And they were Magic of Thinking Big, W.J. Schwartz, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie, The Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino. And then we had Norman Vincent Peale book, Positivity Something. Then Wayne Dyer's book. They were other books. I'm forgetting some. 7 of them. Oh, Think and Grow Rich. Oh my gosh, how can I forget that? Napoleon Hill. And then some other very good book, Charlie Tremendous Jones. Just a small, thin book. I still have it in my, in my library. Charlie Tremendous Jones, Life is Tremendous. And then I think I also had one more book on time, like Control Your Time, Control Your Life by Alan Lankins. These are coming back to me, So those books, they were not podcasts anywhere at all 40 years back, And then they were these books. I would take a pen and a highlighter and I will read word for word and highlight and turn the corners of the page, which something made sense to me. So my thinking has been, Brother Walter, is that what can I take from this book that will change my thinking, that will make me a better person? So that's how I look at it. Even now, I don't read a whole book at all. I only try to get 3 things from the book. If I pay $10, $15, $20 and I get 3 good nuggets and I put them in my life, which makes me a better person. So actually, it's been overall last many years that I started thinking more positive. I was smiling a lot 45 years back or whatever. Then my people who gave me awards changed my name from Vinney Kumar Chopra to Vinney Smile Chopra. And I've been keeping that smile for 46 years now in USA. But the big thing is you can change how your mind thinks. See, you can change your thoughts. It's up to us if you want to change. Nobody else can make you more positive. If you're a negative person and you like to be staying there as negative person, then stay there. But one thing I wrote in that book, Positivity Brings Profitability, is you can change your thinking, take the negatives out, make some room for positive thoughts, for positive videos that you watch, for the positive books you read, and try to put this positivity and implement it incrementally is the word. Incrementally, that's how I got to where I am, by doing one step at a time. You cannot just run. You got to crawl. You got to stand up first, then crawl a little bit, then stand up, and then move a little slower, and change your mind and pick up that book. I just wrote 82 pages more into my positivity book. It's going to be 219 pages. And we are just putting the new script, 2nd edition of that book, because I really believe that will change your life, a lot of people's lives.
I'm very excited for the new manuscript you released. I've got the original version, so now I got to buy the second one to get the next 80-something pages. Vinney, this is a really powerful principle today, and I know like you've given us so much, and you're always giving us to Alchemist Nation, to all the different shows you're on. One of the things that you and I have been talking about is 10x is better than 2x. And for you to get to that next level, I know that you've been looking at, okay, I want to be on podcasts, and they have to be really quality podcasts with big audiences. So I want to like just do a little talk for a few minutes on what kind of podcasts do you really like to be on? Like, what podcasts do you find you are able to give the most value to, and you have the most fun being on? What kind of hosts do you like to be on their podcasts, their shows? And like, what topic do you like to talk about?
Thank you, Walter. Thank you, brother. I think my life has really changed 10x or 100x, I could say, because of syndication, because of how to really deal with investors who have $36 trillion in retirement funds and savings like nobody's business. How can I bring them great returns in commercial real estate? As you know, that's what I've been pivoting from multifamily to senior assisted livings and hospitality, into cryptos, Bitcoin mining, startups, businesses, and all that. So that's one thing I would love to bring some good ideas which people can, get really good grips on. The other influencers I would love to be on their show is on the mindset, about enthusiasm, about positivity, about balance in life, how to control our destiny, how to make a big difference in everybody's life around us. How could we a very positive Pygmalion? How can we stress free? How can we live great life with positivity and with fun, loving nature, relationships? So overall, I think I'm a mindset kind of coach or mentor or whatever. A lot of people who just meet me, shake my hand, they say, Vinney, you're so positive. I was just traveling to Dallas and just recently, and a gentleman just said, are you Vinney Chopra? I said, yes, I am. And he was picking up his daughter and his wife. He called his wife, said, would you please take the camera out, take a picture of us, together. That was very mind blowing to me. I was in the airplane coming back from Dallas to San Francisco. And this gentleman just walking, I was sitting on the aisle row. I like the aisle rows, And he said, are you Vinney Chopra? I want to talk to you. So, again, I'm not a big, figure yet, but I just feel that everybody I come in touch with, I want to be giving so much positive energy. And people tell me, we were in just recently with my family, we were in Amsterdam, I think, and we went to a restaurant and my whole family was there. And there was another lady just across the, table. And she says, I'm getting some so positive energy from you. Then she told Neil and Monica, you have the best dad. I said, you know what? She doesn't even know me.
And but you can sense the positive energy coming off you. And I think it helps. You're traveling with your son and your daughter and your wife, and you're taking that time. You're almost 71. I'm going to side with your wife on this one. You're still 70.
70, brother, 70.
But still 70, almost 71.
I know somebody told me in some calendar, maybe Chinese calendar, they say 71 because see, I'm 70 plus few months, right?
Yeah.
So now next month, hey, all right, Vinney's gonna be right there. August, Virgo. I'm a Virgo. 27th of this next month, I'll be turning 71. I'm going to say I'll be 72 then. In the lunar calendar, in Chinese calendar. But the key thing is, it's not the age. It's not the age, see? And I say that my mind, my body, my everything. I eat right thanks to my wife. We've been married 43 years. It'll be 44 next year. And I'm already positioning, you know what? I want to live to 100 years and invite so many people and maybe charter planes and go to the top villa in France and invite and do a big party, 100-year party with all the people who like me. And, and I've learned so much from them. So
Vinney, you're going to be a centurion. We're going to throw a big party at the top of France. When you hit 100 years old, I will be there. I like this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I see you're just an icon, with so many exciting things, that you do. And Walter, I think we are here to change the world. We are here to change the world together. And I know Brother Stephen also. I love Stephen. Brother
we might be jumping into the next call, Vinney. So.
Yeah. No.
So for those of you who are listening right now, I know that everybody knows somebody. Everybody knows somebody who's a podcast. Everybody knows somebody who's an influencer, whether it's a micro level or higher. As Vinney's been saying, you know what? The more followers I have, the more interested I am in being on their show. Vinney is ready and willing to jump on. You've just got to send the message. If you send the message, there's a very good chance he'll say yes over the next couple of months. This is a great opportunity for friends you have who are running really good shows, people who you don't know and you want to reach out to. It will help Vinney spread the message of positivity and help more people get involved in real estate, which right now is a really important asset class to be involved with. Unlike the stock market, which is just going all over the place right now, real estate is going strong. It's got really great fundamentals, and especially with buying businesses, which is what Vinny's in now, where he's buying assisted livings and he's putting the memory care component to the real estate side. So he's in his realm of real estate and business, which is the better investment.
And hotels, brother.
And hotels.
Hotels. Oh my God.
Which you're buying at
Hospitality,
30 and 40% discounts, which is amazing.
1 billion. I'm saying today, in the next few years, with my partners and I will be transacting, buying and building $1 billion hotels, 1 billion worth. I know it's going to happen. I know it will. I know it will.
So on that note, it's been set in stone. Vinny's got the flag in the ground. He's going after an additional $1 billion in a new asset class. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week on Abundance Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll see you on Alchemist Nation.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinney.
Thank you. God bless everybody. God bless.